Imagine stepping into a jet so quiet it feels like the world outside doesn't exist. A place where conversation flows effortlessly, music feels richer, and even the faintest whisper seems crystal clear. This is the Gulfstream G700. Welcome to Elite World, where today we uncover the secret aerodynamics that make the G700 the quietest cabin in aviation history. But this isn't just a story about luxury, it's a story about science, precision, and human ingenuity. Flying private is already a rare experience, but flying in the G700, that's an entirely different level. Why is it so quiet? Why does it feel like the jet is gliding on invisible silk? The answer lies in the invisible forces of aerodynamics, noise reduction, and engineering mastery. Today, we'll explore these secrets step by step, breaking down complex technology into simple ideas anyone can understand. By the end, you'll not only know why it's quiet, but you'll appreciate the sheer brilliance behind every curve and every soundless moment. Let's start with aerodynamics, the science of how air moves around objects. In simple terms, aerodynamics determines how smoothly a jet can cut through the air. The smoother it moves, the less turbulence it creates, and less turbulence means less noise. The Gulfstream G700's designers spent thousands of hours studying airflow. They used computer simulations so precise that they could see tiny swirls of air forming along the fuselage. Every curve of the fuselage, every angle of the wings is carefully sculpted to let air flow seamlessly. Did you know that the G700 has the longest, most efficient wings of any Gulfstream jet? These wings are not just for range, they reduce aerodynamic noise. Imagine the difference between pushing your hand through water with your palm flat versus cupped. Flat moves smoothly, cupped creates splashes. The G700's wings are designed to slice through air like a razor, minimizing the splashes of turbulent air that cause cabin noise. Pilots report that even at full cruise speed, the cabin is quieter than a luxury sedan driving down a country road. That's the magic of aerodynamic design. But aerodynamics is just the beginning. Here's where it gets fascinating. Aerodynamics keeps the jet moving silently, but what about the engine noise? Even the quietest engine is still, well, an engine. Gulfstream engineers use a combination of innovative engines, acoustic treatments, and clever placement to tame this roar. The G700 uses Rolls-Royce Pearl 700 engines, which are optimized for smooth airflow and low vibration. Think of them like high-end speakers designed to cancel out distortion, letting the pure tone shine through. Inside the cabin, the G700 is lined with sound-absorbing materials. Panels, insulation, and floor layers all work like a layered earplug for the entire jet. Some are made of advanced composites that absorb vibration, while others are designed to reflect and scatter sound waves, preventing echoes. And here's the real secret: engine placement. The engines are mounted slightly away from the fuselage and with precise angles to direct noise away from the cabin. It's like having a conversation next to a fountain. The sound bounces away, leaving you in peaceful silence. Now, let's step inside. Silence isn't just about quiet engines, it's about the entire environment. Gulfstream's cabin designers thought like acoustical architects. The cabin is longer and wider than previous models, allowing sound to disperse naturally instead of bouncing between walls. Materials are carefully chosen, not only for luxury, but for their ability to absorb noise. Even small details matter. Carpets, ceiling panels, and sidewalls are all selected for their acoustic properties. The seating layout is designed to minimize reflective surfaces. And ventilation systems? They're engineered to whisper, not roar, as air circulates. Passengers often describe it as walking into a private concert hall, where the music you want to hear is crystal clear and every other sound fades into the background. That's the G700 cabin magic. Let's pull back the curtain on some engineering secrets. Gulfstream isn't just about luxury, it's about meticulous science. Every component is tested for sound. Every rivet, every panel, even the windows are designed to reduce vibration. The result? a cabin that measures as low as 50 decibels at cruising speed. To put that in perspective, that's about the sound level of a quiet library. And here's a neat trick. Gulfstream engineers use what's called active noise control. Tiny sensors detect unwanted noise inside the cabin, and the system generates counterwaves to cancel it out. It's similar to noise-canceling headphones, but for an entire jet. Did you know that even the bathroom doors are designed to prevent slamming sounds from echoing through the cabin? It's all part of the silent luxury experience. Technology is impressive, but what about the human experience? After all, silence is only meaningful when someone can feel it. The G700 is not just about reducing decibels, it's about creating a sense of calm, focus, and comfort. Executives can take calls without distractions, families can relax without raising their voices, and pilots can operate the aircraft more precisely when the cabin environment is serene. It's a design philosophy that considers the human senses, not just engineering charts. One Gulfstream owner described it like this: "Flying in the G700 feels like floating inside a cloud. You hear the world outside only when you want to." And that's exactly the goal: control over your environment combined with the freedom of flight. Let's take a closer look at the cabin itself. Gulfstream doesn't just silence noise, they enhance perception. Wider windows let in natural light, reducing the mental strain of long flights. Curved walls and soft materials prevent sound from bouncing around. Even the lighting is designed to complement your circadian rhythm, making the experience not only quiet, but rejuvenating. Every detail is a blend of artistry and engineering. Acoustic engineers, interior designers, and pilots all collaborate to make sure that every whisper, every sigh, and every conversation is heard clearly, or not at all, depending on your preference. Imagine landing in New York after a 10-hour flight, feeling rested, your mind clear, and no ringing in your ears. That's what the G700 achieves, and it's all thanks to the perfect combination of aerodynamics, noise reduction, and human-centered design. So why is the Gulfstream G700 considered the quietest cabin in history? Because it doesn't rely on just one solution. It's a symphony of innovations: aerodynamic precision, advanced engines, acoustic panels, smart cabin layout, and even active noise cancellation. Every system works together seamlessly, like a finely tuned orchestra. And it's more than just numbers or decibels. It's about creating an emotional response, comfort, calm, and clarity. The silence becomes part of the experience, making every flight not just travel, but an event. Can you imagine a jet where every conversation is private, every sound purposeful, and every flight a serene escape? That's what the G700 delivers. The Gulfstream G700 is not just an aircraft, it's a masterpiece of human ingenuity. Its quiet cabin is the result of decades of aerodynamic research, acoustic engineering, and human-centered design. Every curve, every panel, every engine placement tells a story of precision and care. Flying in the G700 isn't just about getting from point A to point B, it's about entering a space where science, luxury, and human experience converge. It's a reminder that sometimes the greatest innovations are the ones you don't hear, but most certainly feel. So next time you think of luxury jets, remember this: the quietest cabin in history isn't just about silence, it's about harmony, comfort, and the art of flight perfected. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the Gulfstream G700. If you enjoyed this deep dive into aviation innovation, hit the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories of technology, luxury, and human ingenuity. Fly high and stay inspired.